just roll. Is the lighting okay, or
It's
do you like
better.
the?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I have so much we can talk about, but yeah, start us off, and we'll jump in.
And then we'll... Welcome back to Wellness in Wonder for an episode with Glenn today. Before introducing you, Glenn, I want to make a little introduction about today's main topic, which is about faith. It's easy to have faith when everything is going to work out in our lives, but when everything is going to work out, something is missing. It's much harder to have faith when we are facing challenges in our life. And this is because faith is believing in the unseen, not necessarily in what is seen. So for our following our greatest dreams, we must have faith, and it will be worth it, because when the harder it is, the better and the greater the satisfaction it will be at the end. So today with Glenn, we want to motivate you for the better, as hypnosis is not only the only topic we're going to go through today. We're going to talk about dreams and the part of achievement, which is part of reaching our dreams. Hello, Glenn. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You are lovely. This is amazing to be able to talk about this.
Amazing. So I'm sure many people know about you, but you have an amazing past because you have been doing many different things, and that's why you are so creative. Do you want to give us a brief of your history?
Okay, so I am a hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
I started out as an entertainment hypnotherapist, where I hypnotized a bunch of YouTube stars, and one took off after the next, and I had a whole new career before my eyes that I never thought I would have. I did go to hypnotherapy school, and I went there to learn how to work with people for fears and phobias. And then we had a stage hypnotist come to the school, give a presentation. I was like, I kind of like that. You know, I grew up as a musician, loving to perform, being in theater. So when I saw stage hypnosis, I'm like, wow, I guess I can do that. So I went full on into entertainment hypnosis with having the background in hypnotherapy. And then it really just took off. I got to experience what I've heard before, that when you are in the right place, things find you. Because most of the influencers I work with, I didn't know them. I don't know how to get in touch with them. I would come home and I got an email from one. I made one very popular lady eat an onion, thinking it was a delicious sweet apple. That went to 8 million views. And then I got a call from the William Morris agency to do another video that went to 20 million views, and so on. Now I just get calls. And it came because I found the right place for me to be, and that came at a price of a lot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's because you were exploring the unknown. That's why opportunities come up, Glenn.
Yes.
How important it is to tell people that the exploration of the unknown, of the non-safety zone, is so important for us to discover what still has to happen. So people most of the time stay in their comfort zone because it's easy, but we have to get out of our comfort zone to bring opportunities.
It's true. I think there's a misunderstanding people have in that. And here's the misunderstanding, I think.
Amazing. Tell us, please.
Going into an uncomfortable zone doesn't mean you have to do it irresponsibly.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to quit your job. All right, I'm going to make my money no matter what. I left I don't know how you convert dollars to money there, but I left a $300,000 a year job as a sales manager. Now in the US, that's quite a bit of money. And I had the company car, the nice credit cards, packages. I had no financial worries, but it wasn't for me. I was selling my soul. My boss was not the right ethical person I wanted to be with anymore. So instead of just quitting my job and jumping into my faith, I decided to save money. I decided to strategically plan how this was going to happen. And so you don't have to just drop everything and be irresponsible, but even so, what you said, doing uncomfortable things, there's a line of people to have my old job that would stay there forever. but that wasn't who I was anymore. I outgrew it. And then, even though I had my strategic plan to leave, a situation happened where life booted me out of there quicker than I wanted to. Then I'm like, wow, I guess I really have to do this now. So I got, even though I strategically planned it, I got booted into the uncomfort zone.
Amazing. So you are basically confirming that we have to act consciously, even though we explore the unknown, to be conscious about the unknown, about the step we are going through is fundamental to avoid also mistakes and getting lost. So true. Thank you, Glenn, for reminding us this. Yes. So how can we be so strategic when we have this excitement of changing what we are doing, and to be also so focused on the strategy? We must be supported. What's the ideal environment to do this? What do you think?
There's two things in that. As you know, when you start to do something you love, there's two things. It doesn't always happen overnight.
Yeah.
You know, when the problem I have, well, not a problem, it's not a problem, but what I don't like is there's a generation of social media people telling you, if you're not rich, if you're not this, you're not that, you're not successful. And it happened for me overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. There's this get rich quick, there's this it has to happen now mentality, where things like, I was talking to my daughter who's 15, and I'm like, you know what the secret to life is? It's consistent action and discipline and effort. And those words are kind of out of fashion now, right? Nobody wants to hear it takes discipline, effort, and consistency.
No one wants to hear these things, and they bother us. They already sound of it. It's true.
Yeah, I just want to put a post out and be famous. No,
So love can help us when we feel love for someone, love for something. That's when we are able also to have this discipline and to make this effort. So love is always, in my opinion, indeed, is always the secret to drive and to thrive.
Yes. Now with that, what I truly believe when I work with people, clients on coaching, if you want to experience something in your life, I really believe it's so important to know your why. Why do I want it? And it's not, they can't be superficial reasons. Why? And because it can be dark when you are uncomfortable and you are trying to create something new in your life. And if you don't know why you want it, people fail because they don't really know why. You know, I want to be rich. That's not enough. Like, what do you want to share? What gift do you want to give to others? And not everything has to be a gift like this. There's so many ways. I was working with a chef who had 3 failed restaurants, and her passion is food. I'm like, maybe it's your 5th restaurant before you'll find it. Yeah. But if that's what you love, you don't get to stop, and you don't get to control how that's going to look.
Yeah. You don't look at the outcome. You also enjoy the journey, the passage, the story.
And if you know why you want it, then that will light your way. But very few people sit down and write a full page about why do I really want this in my life? What are the real reasons?
And sometimes we don't know the why, but only if we experience it deeply and we talk about it and we share, as you said, the vision, then we can get also the answer to the why. Because sometimes it's difficult to get these answers. We are not born ready. We learn and we never stop learning. So the why comes when you have the inner answer within experiencing. Yeah. Beautiful. And I would say that hypnosis is one of the reasons why I believe is so important in our lives, dear Glenn. So hypnosis, as you said, because I read many articles of yours, is both creative and very personal. So sometimes when we get confused in life, we can get hypnotized from someone, an expert like you, or also we can do an auto-hypnosis. For example, when we use our imagination, positive thinking, this is also the auto-hypnosis we give to ourselves on our daily life. So hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness, which we should go through to also to have these answers sometimes.
Yes, hypnotherapy, it's guided meditation on steroids, basically. Yeah. And what makes it so effective, especially when I do a one-on-one session, is we talk about what's underneath it, you know, your belief system. And then I put that belief system into the session. And a lot of what I do is releasing. It's a lot of releasing old fears, releasing trauma, releasing beliefs that you've held on to over the years that have limiting you. So it's removing blocks. And then what you said, visualization is so important. And I also think that people get stuck on that.
Yeah.
Visualization can simply be directing your thoughts in a certain way. It doesn't mean you have to see something.
Yeah.
You can feel it, or
Yeah.
you can just direct attention in your mind to it. That's visualization.
Amazing.
And it's so important to spend that time with your eyes closed, going inside and focusing. Because in almost every session, I say this, I say, the world we create here on the inside is the world you will experience on the outside.
Yes, it's a reflection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reflection. But if you don't take that time to do it, to program it, to visualize it, you know?
Glenn, but I have a question regarding this, because
Yes.
I've been doing, I'm a health coach. I'm doing lots of sessions for women about to change their lives, about to change their inner patterns. And I believe it's sometimes they find it easy to visualize it. And so we can feel it, but how can we actually act on the visualization? Because we can also get lost in it sometimes because of fears, or sometimes because we don't feel the potential. So hypnotherapy can be a way of making action within the visualization or not?
Absolutely, because it's not just guided meditation. I'm doing specific things, specific techniques to help you overcome. And it's also anchoring. Hypnotic anchoring is an idea of, in that quiet, calm state, we get you visualizing, feeling, and seeing what it is you want, and we anchor that to a color or a word or a movement, and it becomes a switch to where, all right, it's time for me to make this phone call I don't want to make. Breathe in, think of that word I gave you, think of that color. Then all of a sudden, a switch goes on in your mind, and you feel that energy, that motivation, that drive. It's like a guiding light that I build within you.
You add depth, basically, along hypnosis to the visualization. So we go even deeper and we find more answers. And the more deeper it gets, the better it is, because we feel it even more, right?
It is. I mean, when you say deeper, not necessarily deep into a sleep level, but deeper into your belief systems and what's underneath it. There's everybody, no matter where you're at, has some beliefs that they need to shed. You know, I've worked with so many people that one was a woman that has a bestseller on Amazon. And she's like, who am I to offer a course to women on overcoming divorce and trauma? I'm like, did you overcome divorce and trauma? She's like, I said, you have a best-selling book on Amazon? Yes. I said, you are, you know,
the one.
you are your life is an example of this.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I really think we all find, even yourself, you kind of find your calling within your own work.
You said something very beautiful, Glenn. The importance of motivational experiences, the stories that connect as a human level, can leave on us an emotional boost that lasts forever. It's incredible, our experience, how it is the most main example for people to understand what we've been through, for them to understand the same. Sharing experiences is so important. Do you do that along your sessions?
Yeah, it is sharing your experience, because otherwise you're reading it from a book.
Yes.
And not everybody you're going to connect with. Not every person is meant to work with me. That's why there's many of us that have different perspectives, different experiences, different points of view. So not everything, even Tony Robbins doesn't work on everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As good as some of the most popular people are, they're not for everybody. So I do get those, and I'm sure you get these too, these messages where people are like, hey, I saw some of your content. I just want to connect with you. I know you're the person I need in my life right now. You know, I've had that experience with others. Others have that experience with me. I'm sure you do too, right?
Yes.
And that's
this support, energetical support, is super powerful, more than people think.
yeah. So one thing I'm actually going to put my next talk about this, and I call it the plant theory, for lack of a better word. All right.
Yeah.
So when we're thinking about your life and you have a goal or a dream, you take a plant, you put a seed in it and you water it, right? It may be a year before that seed starts to sprout into a little plant. It may be 2 years. You don't know. It might be 6 months. But what happens is we put all this effort and energy in. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Then finally, the plant starts to grow a little bit. And then you think, I put all this work in, all this time in, and that's all there is. And then they stop watering the plant and it dies. And their dream dies. And it's like the second you see a little bit of light, that's the time to put 10 times more effort into it than you have before. And a lot of people give up. They scare away from it at that point because they feel like I've done too much work already and this isn't paying off. And I really think that's a disservice of impatience to a lot of people. We are so impatient when it comes to our dreams.
Yes.
We are so impatient with holding consistent effort. And you have to really, when you start to see a little bit of growth, there were so many times I wanted to stop. I put so much effort into my online programs. I went through a bunch of people on Fiverr, you know, that website Fiverr for text, that took my money, that gave me horrible results. I couldn't get my website up right. I went through easy websites like Weebly that put it together for you. I went to WordPress, which I don't know if you know what WordPress is. It's a nightmare. There's plugins, there's coding. It's the worst platform, I believe, in the world, but it's everywhere. And there were so many steps I had to take and learn, and weekends and hours, and staying up hours and hours learning stuff I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to do, thinking this isn't going to work. And had I listened to that, it would have been a disservice to myself and everybody I've shared my gift with, you know?
Yes.
It takes sometimes an insane amount of effort for your dreams to materialize, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But unless we're talking like this, unless you're listening to people that actually do that, you don't stay the course, you know?
Yes.
If somebody says, you know, well, how much time are you putting in? Well, I put in, you know, I've stayed up for 3 days in a row. Why not 4 days in a row? Well, that's a bad example, but whatever it may be, somebody has done more effort. They've done more time, and they'll look at you and say, no, you haven't done enough yet. I'm sorry. But you need those people in your life so you can grow. But many people don't, those connections don't happen automatically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, and when we change for the better, we also lead by example. When we show courage in the face of adversity, we change our life and others. We cannot imagine the power we have with our words and action for others too. So, which is amazing to be so contagious in about this courage and this fight. Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of hypnotherapy friends from the school I went to. And a lot of them are like, hey, I want to start doing some online programs. I'm like, you've been telling me that for a year. In the meantime, I have 55 video meditations in my online program. You haven't started one yet. Pardon my language, get off your ass and do something, you know? But the problem is they get stuck in this, I want to do this. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to do it. Just start.
Just start. That's the safety zone before I was talking about, Glenn. So they prefer to be, if we talk about an evolutionary perspective, the human's minds primarily tend to keep each other safe, which I know, I understand what you say, but sometimes this leads to self-sabotage and they don't step out. Do you think this is the safety zone we were referring before, or it is something different?
Well, actually, that's a good analogy, because the safety zone, there's something called homeostasis. I don't know if you know that term, homeostasis.
Yeah.
So our subconscious mind uses homeostasis to keep us alive. If we get our heart rate goes up, we have a bad event in life, it brings us back to what's safe and normal. It regulates our body so we don't die, and it's very important. However, it also works on our belief patterns to where even we will stay in an uncomfortable job. I did that. We will stay in a relationship that's not healthy. I did that. We will stay with things that aren't healthy for us because they're known. Our minds like known. So a unhealthy known is more comfortable than a beautiful unknown.
Exactly.
And that's one reason hypnotherapy is so effective, because we can visualize, we can change that pattern of something unknown to feeling known to feeling familiar. And when we take an unfamiliar pattern and make it feel familiar, we're changing homeostasis.
Yeah.
But it does take courage. It takes courage to change. It takes courage to reach out and be vulnerable with someone else.
Yeah. Yes. Shall we give a little example of hypnosis here online? Because people are very curious, Glenn, to see if you want, just here online, a very quick one. How would you, for example, I don't know, we can give an example of I'm super driven by success, but I'm a bit stuck in my old patterns. So success, I'm very impatient and I'm going towards success because this is the only thing that makes me happy. This is an example. In this case, which kind of hypnosis shall we do together here? What would you tell me?
So now, here's the thing. It may be, I don't know if it's the exact words you wanted to use, but you know what I heard you just say?
Yeah.
You just said, success is the only thing that makes me happy.
Well, it's not true, but as an example.
Okay. Yeah, but when I know, so I'm saying, but when I hear something like that, I know exactly where to go.
Yeah.
It's like, no. And with that, real quick, the other thing I just want to share, I think it's so important. I had a client tell me, he retired. He's like, I need something more in my life. He goes, but I only want to, he likes working with wood. He likes crafts. I'm like, he goes, I only want to do that if I know it's going to be good for me. And I'm like, one, you don't get to know that before you do it. You don't get to know if this relationship is right until you're in it. You don't get to know the unknown until you dive in. But we're also allowed to have more than one dream. We're allowed to have more than one purpose.
Yes.
So if you do start off in a path and you find it's not for you, nothing was lost.
Yeah.
That leads to something else, to something else. It only stops if you hold that perspective of, I have only one purpose in life. We all have so many purposes in life,
Yes.
And there's so many things. So you're saying you want to try a little hypnosis right now?
Yes, I would love to show our friends and our guests a little example.
So there's a few different types of hypnosis because everybody responds differently. There is stage hypnosis, and stage hypnosis relies on somebody being really, really suggestible to where they just can't deny certain suggestions you give them. Then other people that aren't so suggestible, we do more of a process of the guided visualization, the guided meditation. Hypnotherapy works on everyone. Stage hypnosis isn't quite the same because that's more of a trick of the mind. You know what I mean? But let's see, let's do some tests and see how you do.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so let's do a few things. So you're sitting up straight. What kind of chair are you in right now?
Normal chair. Very simple chair.
Is it on wheels or is it solid?
Solid.
Okay, good. All right, so let's just
because I might fall down.
You won't, but if the chair is unstable, you can shift around. Yeah. But here's what we'll do. I'll do something that every time I do this particular thing, it's a beautiful experience, which we'll do.
Amazing.
And then we'll just, let's see how you respond to suggestion. Yeah. So this isn't hypnosis yet. So put your arms out. Can you put your arms out in front of you? Are you going to hit the computer or anything?
No.
All right. Put your palms up in the air. All right, look at your hands. All right, now close your eyes. Just use your imagination and imagine on that left hand. Imagine the heaviest bowling ball you've ever felt in your hand. And then imagine on your right arm, I tie a string. You see a string of balloons rising in the air, rising higher and higher and higher. And you feel those bowling balls going heavier and heavier and heavier. And the balloons are going higher, higher, and higher. Yeah. All right, so open your eyes. Open your eyes. So you're really good. You're going to be fun. So
wow, I love to be guided by you, Glenn, I have to say. Maybe because I know you're an expert and you are super good. I don't know. That, of course, this influenced me, but yeah.
Okay, put your arms down in your lap. Just, relax your arms. Put your hands just down.
Yeah.
Watch how easy we can go into a state of hypnosis. You're a natural already. I know you're a natural. You're open. You can visualize. You can listen. So watch how cool this is without any tricks at all. Just sit comfortably. And what we're going to do is close your eyes. Now, take a deep breath in with your eyes closed. Open your eyes and breathe out. And just let your eyes unfocus in front of you. Close your eyes and breathe in. Open your eyes and breathe out. Good. Close your eyes and breathe in. And keep them closed as you breathe out. With your eyes closed, hearing my voice, you're just going to easily and naturally feel yourself drift. It may feel funny at times, but most importantly, it's going to feel natural. Direct some attention to your hands. Just notice within yourself which hand feels warmer and which hand feels cooler. And just allow those hands to go onto your lap. Let them sink into your lap and feel warmer. Now direct your attention to your feet. Just notice which foot feels heavier. Notice which foot feels lighter. And now allow your hands to settle down and drift onto your lap. Just allow them and imagine they're melting right into your thighs. It's comfortable. It's natural. Notice how you are completely supported by the chair you're sitting in. And even right now, you're going to have other thoughts. You may hear sounds from the outside world, but they simply will not matter. I want you to direct all of your attention to your eyelids. I want you to relax your eyes down to the point where they just won't want to open. You're in complete control. I want you to relax those eyes down to the point where they're just going to be stuck and they won't want to open. You're in complete control. Because in a moment, I'm going to ask you to test those eyelids. However, I do not want you to test them until you're certain they will not open when I count to 3. All right, now you open them, right?
Awesome.
I want you to close them again. I want you to experience something else. You experienced opening them. Now with your eyes closed, imagine looking up to the top of your head with your eyes closed. And now use your imagination and experience what it would be like if you could not open your eyes. Just let yourself experience that and really try. And the more you try, understand the more stiff and rigid they become, almost as if they're no longer your eyelids. Now that you experience that, you can let yourself go deeper. I'm going to count from 5 to 1. Now you already know it's your choice because you've experienced your eyes opening and you've experienced your eyes not opening. Now I want you to experience your body sinking down into the chair from 5 down to 4. Noticing the deeper you go, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you allow yourself to go. Your body begins to feel warm. It begins to feel heavy. And we go down to 3 and you go even deeper, becoming more open to my suggestions. Feeling your shoulders sink back, feeling your head getting heavier and heavier. As I go down from 3 to 2, you won't fall out of your chair, but your head is going to feel heavier and heavier as it drops forward to 1, all the way down. Now, in a moment, you are just going to allow all of your thoughts to calm. You're going to hear every word I say, and you're going to become open to every idea that I give you. As your head is heavier and heavier, and you're sinking back into the chair even more, your feet are going to become so heavy. You can imagine there's cement coming over your feet, heavier and heavier, to the point where the more you think about moving your feet, the more stuck they will become. Now, I can't see your feet, but you can experience what that feels like, as if your feet were so stuck to the floor, magnetized down. And in a moment, you're going to try to move your feet and realize they are stuck, and it's going to feel really, really funny. Try that now and see what that feels like. Really try, and the more you try, the more stuck they become. Stuck, heavier and heavier and heavier. Now you can stop trying once again. And the same way you experienced your feet being stuck, imagine your lips being stuck right now, to the point where it's almost as if you have forgotten how to speak, because your lips are just glued shut together. Now, in a moment, I'm going to have you open your eyes. And once you do, you'll realize your mouth is stuck completely. How you doing? How do you feel?
So amazing.
Okay.
It's an amazing sensation, Glenn, because you feel your body is not your essence. And so you get this separation of the body from the essence. That's what I felt. I felt that my body was completely stuck following your guidance, but at the same time, I felt my essence was in front of it.
Yeah, and then you came back. So you are, for stage hypnosis, I wouldn't use you on stage because you are very aware in meditative process.
Yeah.
Your body relaxes and you do respond to suggestions. But things like your mouth being stuck, you have enough awareness so that doesn't happen for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you feel your feet being stuck?
Yes, not so much. No, I completely felt what you were saying because I trust you. So I was listening to you and following you. But at the same time, I was feeling my essence separating from the body and looking at myself from the outside. Okay,
now let me show you something beautiful. So I was just testing with you to see where you would go with things. Now let me show you something that everybody loves. Watch this. Close your eyes. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing to experience. You already know how quickly and easily you can relax. And I'm not going to ask you to stick your feet together. I'm not going to test you to see if you can speak or not speak. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is think about your heart and imagine that you can breathe right through the center of your heart. And we're only going to take a few moments, but each moment may feel like an hour. Each hour may only feel like a minute. And you're going to allow your body to drift down and just feel warm and heavy. And right now, imagine your mind, your breath, and your heart connecting as if they were one. Breathing in deep, right into the center of your heart, maybe even imagining your favorite color, a beautiful, healthy color, your special color. And you breathe that into your heart. And I'm just going to say deeper and deeper. Let your body settle. Let your shoulders feel heavy. You can allow your head to feel heavy as well. You're just going to sit back in the chair, listening to my voice, connecting so deeply to your heart. Because I have a feeling, even though I don't know, I have a feeling maybe there's something you're holding on to. Maybe it's something very deep, or maybe it's just something light. What are you doing?
You're right. I'm holding on something. You were
Close
reading
your
my
eyes.
mind.
Close your eyes. All right. Also, Francesca needs to learn how to follow instructions. Somebody might just be a little bit used to being in charge. All right. Close your eyes. Close your mouth. Go right back to where you were. I want you to experience letting go. I also want you to experience not being in control for your own benefit, for your own good. Just for a moment, you can take all the control back when you're ready. But until I ask you to, just allow your eyes to stay closed. And I will ask you in time to open them, but not yet. And I will give you all of your control back, but not yet. I want you to bring back your color back to your heart. You know so easily how to relax your body and mind. Let your shoulders drop again. Let your head relax. That's it, just like that. Now, the truest part of who you are is right in the center of your heart, because your heart's been with you before you took your very first breath, and it will never leave you for the rest of your life. Feel that gratitude. And perhaps if there is something, that's right, just keep your hand there with your eyes closed. Maybe there's something that you've been holding on to that it's time to let go of. I don't need to know what that is. Nobody needs to know what that is. It's only for you to know. If you do know what that is, just nod your head quietly. Good. Now, with each breath you take, I want you to connect deeper to your heart and have the courage, quietly with yourself, to ask it, why have you been holding on to it? Why haven't you let it go? And most importantly, now, what would it take to let it go completely? What would you get to believe about yourself? What new belief would allow you to let go of it once and for all? Connect with your heart about it. Feel that throughout every fiber of your body. Breathe into the center of your heart and feel that with yourself. Good. Ask yourself, are you ready to let it go? Ask your heart. And when you are, imagine with every inhale, you're breathing in exactly what you've wanted. And every exhale, you're letting go. You are letting it go. It will never affect you again. Every breath in only makes this new belief stronger. You'll think about it at night before you go to bed. You'll think about it throughout the day. It will make you smile even more with each and every breath, just like now. And really allow yourself to feel the beauty of what's in your heart, the beauty of what's in your soul, and what you know is true about you. That's right. Feel that even smiling deeper, bigger, brighter. This is you. This is who you are. And only when you're ready, just allow yourself to drift up, remembering this magic moment with yourself. You will only have the urge to smile and love your life even more than you do now. When you're ready, only when you're ready.
So powerful, Glenn. so powerful. So powerful.
What's that? Nice.
So powerful. Wow, you're amazing. I want to say regarding what you just asked me that I hold on things that I deeply love. But to hold on, like, is not necessarily positive sometimes because we hold on. So we keep it too tight to our heart. So maybe sometimes to let go doesn't mean to forget, but to let go of this holding, right? So we
Yeah.
let go of the holding, but not of the good feeling we have of something, but of the necessity of feeling it tight to ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, it is. I think that comes from our conditioning and how we were taught. It's like for some people, they experience a lot of pain in life. So if they have something good, it's like they squeeze it and they hold on to it no matter what. You know, there's a saying, if you hold on too tightly, you get dragged, you know?
Exactly. I love what you said. It's so true.
You
Yes.
know, and even when you think about old relationships, maybe things that didn't work out so well, you're allowed to keep the good memories and the good moments, even if it ended in a bad way. You know, you're
Yeah.
allowed to keep the beautiful moments of your life. And I think that too many people close the door on their positive experiences just because there's been hurtful ones too, you know? So yes, it is to like what you just did, that experience of opening up your hand on your heart and just allowing yourself to feel connected and open, you
Amazing.
know, to live our life from that place is very different than we're taught, unless you were taught by unless you grew up in a meditating environment with parents that embodied that.
Yeah.
That's not what we're taught, you know?
I feel very intense, I have to say, after this guidance, because I also work with senses, dear Glenn. I'm an health coach. I basically help people to find this mind and body connection using our senses. Because I
Yeah.
was a chef, because I was hosting events, so I really can understand people. I can understand the importance of exploring our senses. And in this moment with you, I felt something I wouldn't be able to do with people, to guide people using their senses, but without even touching something, just by the exploration of our own mind within it. So thanks to these hypnotherapy sessions with you, I imagine patients are able to basically become children again, and having these and being able to imagine these sensorial experiences all in our head.
Yeah. I mean, this was a little exercise we did. A full hypnotherapy session is much more intense and it's a much longer process. But the things that we're able to do by going back to some of, I've had moments where just beautiful moments with people overcoming sexual abuse, overcoming sexual trauma, physical abuse, helping people through the grieving process. I work in a rehabilitation center once a week because I love it. I work with 30, 60, and 90-day detoxers coming off of every drug you can think of. And I do group hypnotherapy with them. I do one-on-one sessions, and there's so much to release. And it makes me feel really purposeful to be able to share and connect in that way using this gift of hypnotherapy and guided meditation.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And even being able to connect with you and talk about these concepts, because these are the things we need to talk about.
Yes,
you know?
for people to understand and to feel them, because of course, and also any personal experiences through this guided meditation and these hypnotherapy sessions can be so different from each other. So talking about it is fundamental.
It is. We so much of this world wastes energy talking about politics and this and that and
Things
divisive.
we can change, so unsatisfying.
This needs to be the topic of our social media posts, of our conversations, of how we connect. And that's a service to the world because it needs it more than ever, for us to share this kind of light and this kind of work. It is amazing.
That's because I believe, Glenn, my inner child is, as you can see, deeply alive, even though I'm very deep and I'm very of course, intense sometimes as I'm becoming an adult too, but I believe adults have these misconceptions of life and of things because they don't utilize their creative imagination like children do. So our goal in this life is to grow up wise, keeping our inner child alive, using our creative skills and imagination through hypnotherapy, through guided meditation, through all these guidance that we have today with amazing healers and experts like you, for example.
Thank you. And you are so right. It's funny, a lot of things that you say, like what you just said in my group meditation last night, I said, a child doesn't know it's not supposed to dream. A child doesn't know what limitations are.
Yeah.
So now give yourself permission to dream like a child.
Yes.
And yeah, you're very connected. You are so connected to this work. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Glenn. Yes, it's my big passion. And I believe, like you did, everything I did, many different works, they all helped me to create who I am today. So never regrets, even though I was not reaching to the final point of what I was doing. For me, it was enough to understand who I was and what I wanted. So every step for me was important to understand who I am.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I look back upon a lot of the things in my life that it gave me what I needed to do the work that I do now. You know, the grieving process, when you go through, I believe the hardest thing in life is helping somebody through the death of a loved one and helping them see that in a way and connect to that. And that experience I went through taught me how to help others in that way, you know. The experience in my own relationships in the past and my experience leaving the cushion of a very nice job to be involved in my passion. All of those things, it makes it real.
Yes.
You know, otherwise you're just working from a book, you know. I've also, let's see. And I'm just excited to see what happens next, you know.
And amazing, I would say, I see you as a magician, Glenn, because the magician usually wants to tap into what people see, hear, and feel as the other magical techniques continue. So it's about adding magic to people's lives, coaching them toward the happiness, giving example, but this is actually the magic we always talk about. People sometimes make fun of me because I believe in magic. That's magic for me, to be able to recognize the powerful mind we have. It's incredible, our imagination, how powerful it is. And to make it real, what does it take? So what's for you the first step to create magic, Glenn?
The first step to create magic is actually going back to what I learned as a child.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
It is. Even before we did this session today, I dropped my daughter off at school. I went to my meditation chair and I just experienced, I saw in my mind the things I want to experience in life. I saw us having a great time today. I saw my online subscriptions growing even more. And I also just put out there, you know, it's hard to explain it because when you experience it, it's different. But I also just got excited about new opportunities that find me every day. And I don't know what they are, but I know they're great. Half the things that happen, I never know what's coming my way, and it's beautiful. I'm flying to Miami this weekend to do not just a stage hypnosis show, but a stage hypnosis show and a group meditation in a beautiful, really nice venue. So I get to do my silly stuff, but make it meaningful.
Amazing, you know? Amazing. Yes, so, playful but meaningful.
It's a nice of hypnosis and transformation, and I get to combine both worlds, which is exactly what I want to do. And I got this opportunity through my manager created it for me with this place, and they want me to come out once a month now and do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do that in other areas, but it's like that was exactly what I wanted to do because I love doing silly stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
but I like doing meaningful stuff. And now what happened? An opportunity came up for me to do both, and
Yes.
that is how life works. And I just visualize that feeling, even just feel, that love for what you do.
Yeah.
And I know you feel that because I saw it in you the second you close your eyes. You know exactly what that feels like. But I don't think I know, and even myself, if I don't take the time to put myself in a beautiful state, I really think that's the start of all of it.
Yeah.
To put yourself in a beautiful place for no reason other than putting yourself in a beautiful place.
Yes, and because we are going through this transformational phase at the moment, Glenn, as we know, is the new era, an enlightenment period of life, and so we might change day by day. So this chaos, which actually feels as a flame within us that doesn't switch off, is actually the best important phase of our life. So instead of building what's obvious, basically retaining this energy, we should embrace these changes that are happening within us. How can we do this? How can we enjoy the chaos along with this transformation?
Yeah, two ways. One, I really believe you need people. First, you need people in your life that understand that process.
So important.
You need to be able to connect with others in that area.
Yeah.
And then two, a practice of meditation is the start with everything. Even if you don't know how to meditate, closing your eyes, I start people off with a cell phone. Like, go home, take your cell phone, set the timer for 10 minutes, put it across the room, sit in the chair, let your mind do whatever it wants to do. Don't judge your thoughts or yourself. Let it feel useless. Let it feel stupid. And then you know it's going to end. And then keep doing that until you can go 15 minutes. And then you'll start to shift. But holding on to what you said, that pain of the uncomfortability of the transformation process. That's why I believe really with meditation, step one is writing down why you want it. My acting coach, when I was doing acting classes, said, he gave me that speech on knowing your why. And I wrote a whole thing about why I want to do this and what I want to feel. And even like all the reasons weren't positive. Some reasons were because I want to shove it in this person's face who never believed in me. Not every reason has to be positive. You can be human. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can be humans. Like, I want to lose weight so I can turn every head in the room. Good. That's one reason. Give me some more, but that's okay too. I want to look so good so my ex drools when they see me. Fine. Don't let that be the only one, but allow it to be a reason because it's real for you,
Yes.
So I think it is really getting in touch with your why.
Yes, it's actually the first step to go forward. Yes. Otherwise, like this, actually, yes, we basically avoid chaos many times. Why also am I feeling this? Or what is that is making me feel this also? So, yeah, so important.
That reflection, because I did it when I have a why list, when I feel, because no matter how, we're all human. So all of us have negative emotions. We all doubt ourselves. There's always hard times. When I have those moments, I go to my why list, and that's how I recharge my. I'm like, okay, I remember why I'm doing this. Okay, keep moving forward.
Yes.
And I need that. I need that why list. It's important for me, and I think it's important for everybody because it's so easy to let your emotions take the wind out of your sails if you stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I have.
Yeah. We are driven by our emotions. That's why sometimes we get caught up in them. If we can analyze the emotion at the actual moment when we're feeling it, then we also avoid aggression, violence, miscommunication, misunderstandings.
That's a great way of saying it, getting corrupt in your emotions.
Yeah. because it's actually the emotion, which is, so we cannot avoid emotions, otherwise we become ghosts and we become useless. So the emotion is the driven force, but then it is in the exact moment that we have to analyze it and understand the source and manipulate the energy. So if it is aggression, we transform it in passion. If it's miscommunication, we transform it in depth. So we go through diversity, analyzing the conflict. Yeah, that's how I see it.
That's very good. But it does take mindfulness to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what the meditation process teaches, to be mindful in the moment, so you're not so reactive to when you have to not get corrupt in your emotions. It's easy
to say.
It is. It is. Things come up and it's hard. I mean, when I asked my oldest daughter, when I was giving her driving lessons, emotions, I lost my temper so many times. Scream. And I don't scream, but
yeah,
we're all human. But
we're all human, Glenn. And how beautiful it is to be understood by people we love. Sometimes we lose it, but we are understood. That's when I feel loved unconditionally, and I feel I'm gonna love this person forever, because it's easy to love when everything is going fine. But when we lose it and we are loved for what we are, that's also proof of love.
You actually said this when we started.
Yeah.
You don't need faith when things are easy. The point of faith is to help you when things are hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It does take that faith. And I believe that faith comes from knowing your why.
Yeah, it's true.
Knowing it is. It's like, it's easy to go to the gym when your body is great.
Yeah.
It's not easy to go to the gym when it's not. Right?
Amazing example. Yeah.
It's easy to speak to someone kind when you're in a good mood.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite lines is, can you say what you mean without saying it mean?
Powerful.
In a relationship,
yeah.
Can you say what you mean without saying it mean? And I feel like a lot of people give themselves permission to not do that. You know
why, Glenn? I have an example of a relationship where visualization was very strong, but then people didn't mean what they said. Do you think this is a mistake? I think it's part of the evolution of the relationship, because we all visualize it, we dream of it, we say things necessarily, maybe we don't mean. It happens that we don't mean what we say, but if we say it, it's because we believe in it. It is missing basically the action part, which is, of course, we cannot expect it to arrive it soon, but it's part of the relationship growth. What do you think? To sometimes to say things but not meaning them, or maybe saying them, meaning them, but not taking action upon them.
Yeah, that, if I'm feeling what you're saying, the part, you mean like losing your temper or blowing up and saying things you don't mean, and it is part. I mean, nothing is just like calm water when you have people and you have love, but those fights you may have, if you have the intention to work through them so you don't have them again in that same way, if you can grow from those moments, absolutely. But some people choose not to grow and they get more resentful.
Yeah.
Every relationship evolves, right? Every relationship evolves and change. And some are a little at first. And I think it also comes down to, there's two parts. I'm not sure which one we're on, but there's boundaries and then there's healthy fighting and healthy growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even so, I think people will treat their boss and their coworkers much nicer than they'll treat their significant other.
Yeah.
It's like when you come home, that's the most important person that you need to speak to. Yeah. Or it's like, it's just my wife calling. I'll call her back. It's like, no, it's my wife calling. I'm going to stop this meeting and see, because that is the most important call, not the sales call, you know?
Yeah.
That's a little off topic, I guess, but it's connected.
It's so much to say about this, yes. Yeah, people will understand it at some point, and hopefully it's never too late, but it's so important to understand, yes, yeah, all these patterns we have to give importance to what's important. Yeah.
Have you seen that? I don't know where I saw this exercise. I've done this. I don't do a lot of couples therapy, but I have done some.
Amazing.
And this is the most beautiful thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
You have the couple sit across from each other, look at each other, and not speak for 3 minutes. They're not allowed to speak. And what happens in those 3 minutes? It's unbelievable.
Wow. And you see it through their eyes, or how do you see it?
You see, they just sit facing each other.
Yeah.
And I'm on Zoom, or if I'm with them, but they face each other, and they're not allowed to speak until I say so.
Wow.
And then they start modeling each other. They start matching each other. Then he'll smile and she'll smile. She'll start crying. He'll start crying.
Wow.
The connection that happens when you take the words away and just hold that presence, it's amazing.
Amazing.
And then after a few minutes of that, now tell your wife how you really feel about her. Tell your husband how you really feel about him. They're off to the races after that, you know?
But that's also because of your energy, because we all try to do this, dear Glenn, but of course, being guided by someone you trust, it's even better, because because it's important to have this external eye judging us. It's not judging, but giving their point of view, because it's easy to say what we think, but then the external eye can really help to see things through. Yeah,
you're being guiding you. I guess that's what this is. It's all guided, right? Guided meditation.
You're a guide.
Guiding. That's so good.
It's so good to feel a guide, to be trusted, and to be able to make it worth it. So powerful. And Glenn, well, would you like to say, I love talking to you, I have to say, and very powerful what you say. Would you like to say something to our guests along this transformational phase they're going through, the last advice, and they can be in touch with you? Of course, you are in the media, so they can be in touch with you if they need help, but what is the last thing you would say?
Sure. Well, yeah, regarding that, if you put a link, you'll put my site below and they can go online. I do work with people one-on-one, but I also have my Hypno Vault. The Hypno Vault I created so everybody can work with me without having to work with me.
Yeah,
there's
inclusiveness. We love it.
Yeah, because every video in my Hypno Vault, they're all sessions that I do with clients that I recreated, and I do a little talk about the topic, and then music comes on and we do an actual hypnotherapy session, and I put a new session in every single week.
Wow.
And people email me for requests, and I put requests in, and that is my online world. And starting next week, I'm doing workshops. Anybody that's in the Hypno Vault, we're going to do free workshops like this. I'll do them on Instagram Live or Facebook Live. And we're going to go through actually what we talked about today, your why, your goals, your dreams, and there'll be new topics. So yeah, you can find me. I do work with people one-on-one. Obviously, one person can only fit so many people into their schedule, but that's why I have the Hypno Vault, because I'm telling you, this is my creation. People have hypnotherapy downloads, people have other things, but this is my way. And I know nobody else has done this because it's my gift, the way I do it. You know what I mean?
Amazing. Yes. And the community you build also, people are able also to share, as we said, the importance of motivating each other, sharing experiences. So they're able also to meet other people that might be struggling for the same reason, and they can be in touch, talking things through, right?
I haven't opened that up yet, but I'm going to. Within this next year, within the Hypno Vault, there is a community I can open up where they can all connect. So that is going to happen. I just haven't done it yet because monitoring it, and
Yeah,
I'm still, that will be something. So parting words of wisdom for our time together, right?
yeah,
Parting words of wisdom. I really think the most important thing